Hi, welcome back to the Career Success Academy. I'm Steve, and I'm glad you're back here today. We have a very important interview to go through. This interview is all about phone screens. Nowadays, when you go through the process of interviewing, you submit a resume, and typically the people on the other end of receiving your resume are inundated with hundreds of resumes. Sometimes it's even more than 1,000 resumes. Their initial role is to whittle down that massive amount of resumes down to a manageable 10 or 15 resumes of people that they want to actually interview. Now, not all resumes are equal, and not all interviewers are equal. And so we're going to be a little bit of, we're going to be general in terms of some of the things that we're going to talk about today. But there are some constants here. And the two things we're going to talk about is if you're selected to be one of those people who get a phone screen, you're going to have 10 to 15 minutes to really talk about yourself so that they remember who you are and select you for that small group of resumes that go forward in the hiring process. Today we're going to talk about how to do that. So let's begin. The first thing that you can do is prepare in advance. As soon as they tell you that they've selected you for a phone screen, there's a number of things you have to do. Now, when I say you have to do, it's because you want to move forward in the process. You don't have to do this. But if you don't, understand those other people that were selected for phone screens will be doing this. So, let's talk about how you can be successful. You want to prepare by familiarizing yourself with your own resume. If you were smart, you tweaked, you customized, you modified your resume to highlight those skills that you have that fit what they put in the job order. They posted a job, they told you what skills they were looking for, and hopefully you matched your resume to those skills. So print off the resume, have it there in front of you, review what you said so that you can tell your own story. You must be confident in your own skills. You didn't lie, you were honest, but you want to remember exactly what you told them. What are they going to have in front of them? Also, going along with this, you want to do some research. You want to understand the company, the job opportunity, the person who is going to be doing the interview. Gather as much information as you possibly can. Next, you have to practice your own story. When you are in the phone screen and you have that 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to talk about some of the personal skills you're going to have. That's the second part of this video. But you want to make sure you're totally fluent with telling your own story. Your answers have to be sharp, they have to be concise, they have to answer the questions that they're asking. That means don't interrupt the person when they're asking you the question. Make sure you understand the question. If you don't, ask them to repeat the question a slightly different way. Perfectly within your own you're within your own comfort zone to be able to say to them, please repeat what you said because you didn't understand it. Your job is to make sure that you're understood in your answer. So you want to be spot on answering the question. You don't want to veer off onto a little tangent or go off on a hypothetical. You want to be spot on target. Now, that means if you have a little accent, speak clearly. That means if you are excited, don't speed up your answers. Only say what you need to say, but I will tell you, besides being prepared and being confident and being fluent with your own story, you have to be friendly. You have to smile. Smiling while you're on the phone makes a world of difference. It's your job in that phone screen to connect with the person so the interviewer remembers you. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is that during the phone screen, you should be taking notes because you're going to want to remember what they were asking you and what's important to them. You also should prepare some questions in advance. So if they ask you, do you have any questions? You're prepared for that. You have questions already pre-written down and notes next to you, where maybe you put your strengths, you put what they were looking for in the job posting, you put down a couple of questions of things that you want to know. But I also want you to expect them to be asking you questions that they're difficult questions that you're going to have answers. And the answers have to show that you're flexible, have to show that you were thinking about this. For example, what kind of salary do you want? Do you really want to tell them what your salary is that you're looking for? Maybe it's too high. Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's, well, if you want that much money, it puts a different light on your resume. Well, if we're going to pay that much, or if we were expecting to pay more, why are they underselling themselves? Availability. They may be looking for somebody to start a week from Tuesday or 3 months from Tuesday. And so when they ask you about your availability, make sure you have an answer. You can't say, well, I'll give 2 weeks notice and no, you can't be ambiguous. You want to say, I'm prepared to start the 16th of next month or whatever the date is. Very, very important. Know location. They may say we want 100% in the office on the time, all the time, no remote work, etc., etc., etc. That may be the opposite of what you're wanting to hear. You're the picture of flexibility. You want to say, well, I'm open to that. You may not be open to that, but for the purpose of the phone screen, you're open to that. And towards the end of the phone screen, you want to find out what the next steps are in their interviewing process, because no two organizations have the same interviewing process. Are you going to be doing virtual on-site interviews? How many people? Is it going to be a half-day event, an all-day event? Are they expecting you to come in for a face-to-face interview at the end of it? What is their process? They'll be happy to tell you if you ask the question. So let's recap. should be prepared to talk about not only those detailed technical things, but you have to remember that the person who's doing the phone screen on the other end is not the hiring manager. Chances are they're going to just simply cull from the 15 or 25 or 50 resumes that they selected out of the original 500 down to 10 or 15. So again, you never want to exaggerate, you never want to lie, but honestly, you're flexible because the person who's doing the phone screen on the other end, on the interviewer side, chances are they don't have the answers. They're working off of a piece of paper with buzzwords. They've got a list of questions they want to ask you. And so in advance, ask yourself this question. How are they going to select someone else over you or you over someone else? It's got to be because they perceive that you are good for that particular position. Be that person. Do not give them a reason to object to you. Give them every reason to think that you're confident and that you are a good, if not best person for this position. If you can do that, you're going to advance to those next steps we were talking about. It's been great doing this particular video. It's very important for you to be prepared. If you don't pass the phone screen, the bottom line is the interview process stops right there. If you like what we're talking about, please like this video. Please subscribe to our channel and share this with other people who you know are in the process of looking for a new job. Many people wash out from that initial phone screen. Don't let that be you. Prepare in advance. Very important. And don't be surprised by anything they might ask you during a phone screen. Practice. Be consistent. And we'll see you as you continue on your process. Hope to see you on the next video. Again, I'm Steve, and this is the Career Success Academy. Thank you.